Do the intro.
Just come in. Come on.
Okay, we live.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. Coming to you live from the Rock Broker Studio, the Red Man and crew, Rock Broker Studio. Each and every week we broadcast live from the Rock Broker Studios. And this week we got a lot of action. Our theme this week is hired or fired. Everybody's getting paid. Man, we're going to talk all about it on today's show. Before we get started, I just want to give a tribute to Mitch Thomas. Understand she passed at the ripe age of 99 years of age. Mitch Thomas and Freddie Thomas, who the school is named after her husband, her late husband, Freddie Thomas, did an outstanding job with the school over there. And Mitch Thomas, they used to own the Herald East back in the day. They were some serious black folks here in Rochester, New York in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They did a lot for the community, and Mitch continued to give her time, and there was an excellent philanthropist here in the area. And can you imagine, they owned the Herald East at one time. Jake, that says a lot, right, J-GILLZ and Bilal?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Dr. Freddie Thomas was actually a mentor to my uncle, so definitely want to, give honor and tribute to his late, his wife on her passing. You know what I mean? She was actually honored this past last year at the during the Black Heritage Gala. So it was, I was blessed to be there, and I think it's a blessing that we were able to honor her as a community and recognize her and her efforts. And then not knowing that it would be the last opportunity that we would have as a community to honor her, as well as Pastor McCullough, Dr. McCullough. Who also passed recently, so you know what I mean. So definitely want to, make sure we send condolences and prayers to both families, to the McCullough family and to the Thomas family on their losses. And I mean, if you know Faith Temple, at the corner of Arnett and Genesee, man, there's been a lot of great church over throughout the years, and it's served as a pillar for that community.
Absolutely.
So honor to the McCullough family as well.
Absolutely. And we'll save the third one, Alex Leonard, for later in the show, definitely. But those two hierarchies, two honorable people that made Rochester, New York, a much better place to live. And we're going to get into, yes, indeed. And we're getting fired. Everybody's getting paid. Hey, James Cook got paid. He ended up winning the NFL rushing title, which makes you wonder, hey, man, why the heck the Bills didn't use him last year? I mean, this is what happens when a team's been in the playoffs 5 to 7 years in a row, as the Buffalo Bills have. Now you're coming up with injuries, and unless you change and get younger players. My main man, Jordan Phillips, time for him to go on vacation. Time for him to say adios. After, his contract is only good for 3 or 4 games. And what we get from him again this year, J-GILLZ, 3 or 4 games from Jordan Phillips before he says adios. I'm out of here. I'll catch y'all on the bounce back or whatever the case may be. He'd probably be on the sideline in his sweatsuit on Sunday down there in Jacksonville, Florida, like he usually is, cheering the crowd and trying to uplift the crowd of Jacksonville, Florida, getting them up for the game, getting the Bills fan, Bills Mafia, and all of them psyched up. It's a shame. You just can't keep bringing the same old guys back in and forth and wonder why you keep getting the same situation, why you have so many injuries with these older guys out there. You're looking for Jordan Poyer. You're hoping the kicker might show up. I don't know if he's going to show up with that calf injury, 42-year-old field goal kicker. McDermott is really rolling the dice this year, but they didn't roll the dice on James Cook. J-GILLZ, James Cook, man, how can he's the league MVP, mainly because it was forfeited by the Baltimore Ravens' Derrick Henry, in my respect, because Derrick Henry had over 100 yards when I was stuck in traffic coming back from the Bills stand. I said, oh, shoot, he's about to get 200 yards against the Steelers last week. So what J-GILLZ, your comments?
I'm going to tell you this. Tomorrow they're going to need every bit of James Cook they can get. I'm telling you right now, the Buffalo Bills are going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars and what should be one of the better games of the day. I'm talking about Josh Allen versus Trevor Lawrence. I'm talking about 2 top quarterbacks going head-to-head. Both of them need to prove it. Last time we saw Trevor Lawrence, he was beating on Justin Fields, and it's time for Josh Allen to go ahead and try and put this team on his back and try and get it done. So they're gonna need every bit of James Cook. They're going to need every bit of James Cook against this Jacksonville defense that won the last 8 games to finish off the regular season. They feeling real good, man. The Jacksonville Jaguars feeling real good. So we talk about James Cook. I'm happy he got his money. He got it at the right time, if you ask me.
I know you didn't just do that. We had a conversation earlier in the season, and here you were again talking about Josh Allen need to put on his Superman.
He's gonna have to put it on his back below. He's gonna have to put the team on his back.
Listen, and what did I say then? I said it then, and when they went to it, what did it result in? James Cook is now the league's leading rusher, and the Bills, if you give the ball to James Cook, good things happen. Feed that man the ball. Feed him the ball tomorrow, and then allow Josh Allen to be Josh Allen, but don't do that Superman act stuff. Be Josh Allen, give James Cook the ball, and let the offense flow, and it opens up things. It will be easier for Josh Allen to play an effective game and be the MVP. He don't have to be Superman if they give James Cook the ball.
I think so. And if the Bills, it sounds like you read part of my column in this week's Challenger Community News, as well as on RealDealSportsShow.com. Go to our website, check out my picks for the games, the winner's edge. We're going to address that later in the show. But also check out RealDealSportsShow.com. Like, video, subscribe to the show as well, and check it out. The article. In the article this week, I even mentioned that, man, whenever Josh Allen throws the ball to 8 or 10 different receivers, the Bills win. The Bills win. Whenever he throws the ball, complete passes to 8 to 10 different receivers. That's all 3 running backs, the 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends, and then the wide receivers mixed in as well. And when he gets a combination of 8 to 10, every time I look at the stats, 8 to 10 receivers, the Bills usually win that game. Josh Allen doesn't need a cape. He has a running back. Look at Ray Davis can run with the ball sometimes. If Cook is tired, give it to Ray Davis. He can run the ball. And then when it's come to passing, I think they're going to have to throw the ball against their Jaguars, their Josh Allen Hines or Hines Allen. That cat is tough. Lloyd is tough. They have a very physical defense. We know how the Bills play against a physical defense. They always seem to have trouble with that type of physical team. But I think Jacksonville Jaguars can be had, even though on the defensive side, Max Harrison, man, we hate to lose him for this big game. They're bringing up Dane Jackson to help out. We got a lot of retreads out there. Jordan Poyer might be out there. Man, it could get ugly. But I think the Bills will be able to fool the quarterback over there with the long hair. They'll be able to fool Trevor Lawrence a little bit, the rock star, and force him into turnovers, J-GILLZ.
I understand, but you got to know who you're going against. Jacksonville Jaguars, they're the #1 rushing defense in the league right now, holding opponents at 85 yards a game. Like I said, you're gonna have to. You can give James Cook the ball, but if they stop in the run, and now you forcing Josh Allen to pass, and you got the other Josh Allen coming at you. We've seen the MVP Josh Allen under pressure, and we've seen him lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars too many times. You're gonna need an explosive game from Josh Allen. You're gonna need to have him mixed in with the run. You're gonna have to have him put the cape on, because I'm telling you right now, James Cook, as well as he's played over the season, we've seen games where he got stopped as well, and it had to put the ball in Josh Allen's hands. And you're going up against a team in Jacksonville that is the #1 rushing defense, 85 yards per game. That's the best in the NFL. So we're gonna have to see James Cook continue to try and cook. But I'm telling you right now, once they stop that run, it's gonna be in Josh Allen's hands. And what is he gonna do? That's what I want.
He ain't lying.
Listen, one of these days, my dad used to say, if you listen, maybe I'll learn you a little something. J-GILLZ, I hear you and all the stats and all that real good stuff, right? The only I think Trevor Lawrence only has 1 playoff game under his belt for his career.
Mm-hmm.
It's Buffalo.
It was a great comeback.
Yeah,
great comeback against Brandon Staley and those Chargers at the time.
Yeah, not the Bills, not a team who's played in multiple championship games. You know what I mean? Under this quarterback and under this coach, and they're playing in a fair weather game. That listen, and
it's not the same Bills teams of the past. This isn't Leslie Frazier, Stephon Diggs, Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer. This is Christian Benford, who I got mad respect for. His health has been on the table. This offensive line has been rickety rockety all season. You know what I mean? They have not been healthy all season. Deion Dawkins, I'm not even sure if is he playing right, man? I need to know
Oh
if
yeah,
he
he's
got
out
the
there.
go ahead.
Yeah,
I need to know because this has not been the same Buffalo Bills team as indicated of the last 5 seasons. They've won the championship. They've won, excuse me, not the championship, the division. The last 5 years, this team has to go on the road. Another thing, the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen has never won a road playoff game. That's another thing that he's going to have to do and get over the hump. And this is not just a gimme for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm not saying it's a gimme. I'm not saying it's a gimme.
For a reason. They're the 6th seed for a reason.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Jacksonville is the 3rd seed for a reason. They had a much easier schedule. The division is whack. They always having teams in that division where you can beat up on.
Exactly.
Teams like Houston, right? Teams like Houston.
Well, after you look at Houston, Indianapolis, who else they got? Indianapolis, the Titans. Come on, man.
And Indianapolis had a heck of a season. They dropped off with Daniel Jones. That didn't stop. They still had a phenomenal team.
What did they do? What did they do the last half of the season, J-GILLZ?
The last half of the season, they have a quarterback. They have Phillip Rivers playing quarterback.
I said, what were they on the field the last half of the season?
They were still competing.
They were losing.
With a 40-year-old quarterback.
The word we're looking for is losing. They were losing.
They were competing.
They were losing.
Jacksonville, let's see what were they doing? They just put a beat down to Denver. Talking about a gimme schedule. They beat the number 1 seed the last couple weeks of the season.
And that's another team. Thank you. That's another suspect team who had an easier schedule. The Denver Broncos.
Number one team.
They're number 1 team for a reason. Okay. These teams like Buffalo are all beat up. But remember, Buffalo and the KCs played way more games than these other teams because the last 5 to 7 years they played in the playoffs. These other teams were at home and gone fishing or whatever they were doing. So now those teams are younger and younger. They had an easier schedule, but now they got to put up a shut up in the
Trey
playoffs.
White. They still got Trey White starting in your left corner.
Trey White gonna be there.
Somebody help me. Somebody help me.
Hey, Top Gun, also known as Morris on the Beltway. Morris Thompson on the Beltway. Hey, Allen doesn't need to put the team on his back. He needs to let the team get off his back and put their game. Because every time he does that, he somehow fails to carry them all the way. So that's right. Don't put them on their back.
James Cook the ball. You don't just have to hand it off to James Cook. You can run screens. You can throw it to him. He's a great receiver out of the backfield. And then you come in. Bradman just said it. What's the other brother that 26?
Ray Davis.
Ray Davis. Phenomenal compliment to what James Cook does with the ball. So if you 1-2 punch and then it opens up the passing lanes for those receivers when teams have to play and know that ground game or those backs are cooking. They got to start playing those backs, and then it opens it up for the receivers, for Kincaid, Knox. Josh Allen can have a very impactful game, not feeling like he's got to put the team on his back. Go out there, be the leader, be the MVP.
Well, we're gonna be back with our picks later in the show. Hey, now what's going on with the head coaching carousel? And let's go to South Florida. Let's go to Coral Gables, Florida. And we ain't talking about the Miami Hurricanes. No, we ain't talking about them yet. We'll get to them later. But we're going to go to South Beach. What the hell is going on in Miami when the owner says, oh, yeah, we're going to look at John Harbaugh. But, yeah, he still had a head coach. He ain't fired nobody. How you going to talk about looking at somebody else? And you ain't even firing your coach that you got, man. J-GILLZ, explain your owner, Stephen Rose, man.
Wait, Radman, J-GILLZ.
Go ahead.
I have to come in. It's internet passport here. But, it's been a lot there. The theme is everyone's getting hired and people are getting fired, man. And one thing a lot of people heard over this time frame was probably something like, "You're fired! You're fired! You're fired!"
Yes.
Go of it. Very rough go of it. But down in Miami, things were looking bad. And we had to go the de facto Miami Dolphins fans, J-GILLZ. Go ahead and let us know what was going on there.
First of all, I will say this. It's been mixed reports for the whole second half of the season, right after Chris Greer got fired. If Mike McDaniel was going to get the boot or not, obviously, man, can y'all believe? First of all, we got what 8 head coach openers right now, which is phenomenal. So you're absolutely right. Everybody was getting fired. You know what I mean on Black Monday. When we talking about Miami, and you talk about it, right? You talk about Stephen Ross. Obviously, we knew that Mike McDaniel was on the hot seat. He's been on the hot seat. It's been speculation that he was going to get fired left and right. His job was not secure. It was not secure. So when you're talking about Stephen Ross saying that, having that slip up, I'm not surprised. But what did surprise me is the hiring of John Eric Sullivan of Green Bay. And my whole thing is this. This is my gripe right here. When you have an executive, a top executive, the assistant general manager for the Los Angeles Chargers, Chad Alexander, when you have his history, when you look at his resume and you see the things that he's done, and then you look at a guy like John Eric Sullivan, and I'm not knocking John Eric Sullivan, but 20 years in Green Bay, very stable organization. You look at them, but he's only been in one organization. I've always been wary on a person that's only been in one organization for so long. Sometimes you can just get wrapped up in a certain way of doing things. But when I look at Chad Alexander, and I saw his time in Baltimore as a scout, and I saw his time working 20 years with the great Ozzie Newsome, we all saw what he was able to do. And then I saw Chad Alexander go to the Jets, and then drafted Garrett Wilson, drafted Sauce Gardner. He was able to get the offensive and defensive player of the year, and Breece Hall, that whole turnover roster that he was able to draft. And then I see him with the Chargers and the success that he's had there, with putting that roster together, Marion Hampton and company. And then I look at Chad. I just didn't understand the going after the John Eric Sullivan versus the Chad Alexander. I didn't agree with it, especially being a Dolphins fan, knowing the history between Green Bay. The last guy we got from Green Bay, I'm sure y'all remember this guy, Joe Philbin. Joe Philbin, terrible Joe Philbin, offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers back in the day, worked for Mike McCarthy. So I wasn't, I just wasn't happy with the decision. Mike McDaniel ultimately did have to go, if you ask me. I think that he's going to have some great opportunities. But, the Dolphins really disappointed me this weekend. I thought Chad Alexander was the guy, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him and John Harbaugh over in Atlanta or something with all those weapons and pieces over there.
Was Chad Alexander even available? Would he have gone if offered?
Who's that?
Chad Alexander.
Oh, I mean, he was down to the finalists. He was a finalist for the job. He was a finalist for the job. It was down to our 4 finalists. We had John Eric Sullivan from Green Bay, Chip Kelly, our interim GM. Last minute was a Chad Alexander who once the firing of Harbaugh was available, he slipped in as well as one of those people from the 49ers. I can't get his name right. But yeah, he was a finalist for the job, interviewed, didn't get it.
But that's what I'm saying. Something must have happened or been said that, caused them to lean away from a Chad Alexander. And that's not to say that, he wouldn't have been a good hire or a good fit. I'd also say this. Anytime you big it up anybody's resume, don't throw the Jets on there. Anything you gotta recently,
absolutely not. When you have the offensive player of the year and the defensive player of the year in the same draft, that's a heck of a drafting job. That's a heck of a scouting job. You have to throw that in. How is that not on your resume?
I hear you in terms of the players. The roster as a whole and the culture of a team and the organization, that's part of what the GM is building. And so
we talking about the scouting. We talking about his scouting. I was talking about his scouting.
But that's only one aspect of the job. If you're a GM,
that's one aspect. It's a heck of an aspect.
It's important. You need talent. You definitely need talent. But in order to have a team, it requires way more than talent. And I don't want
that year, the Jets were trending upward those years before he left. The Jets were on a very good trajectory. Robert Saleh, they had the coach. They just didn't have a quarterback. Robert Saleh had that defense playing phenomenal, exceptional. We know this.
Well, guys, what about Raheem Morris? I was shocked. What about Raheem Morris being walked out the building on Sunday evening? Because we heard that Sunday night before we got caught in traffic that Raheem Morris was in Fontenette was both let go by the Atlanta Falcons by the Home Depot main guy over there, Arthur Blank, before we even got home from the stadium. What was that all about?
Yeah, that. Go ahead, Bilal. Go ahead.
I feel like it's another one of those like kind of New England type situations with Gerard Mayo, right? So you got the bridge coach in there, doing all the dirty work, getting through the tough years, and then you put him in an impossible situation. You sign Kirk Cousins for all this money, and then out of nowhere, the GM drafts Michael Penix Jr. in the first round, and so now the expectation is the moment you feel like you're not getting what you want to get out of Kirk Cousins. Now it's let's play the first round draft pick, and then you bring him into the season, and he's the starter. He's declared the starter. Injuries happen, and now you're trying to salvage the season, man, with Kirk Cousins coming back in, and you know what I mean. And of course, there's a saying, right, that the favorite guy on the team is the backup quarterback. You know what I mean? So now he gets to come in and not be the guy that you paid him I think it was $120 million to come in and be. So you paid him all this money to come in and be the guy. Now he gets to be the backup and not have the weight of the expectations of that $120 million guy should have to be the guy. And I think that's the part that I couldn't quite understand about how do you put a head coach in that kind of position and then fire him after you don't give him the place to grow from. Thank God for Bijan Robinson, man. He was the stabilizing force there, and I thought they did enough. As much as they did miss the playoffs, I really thought Raheem Morris should have been coming back.
Yeah, and I saw it both ways, honestly. Like I felt bad for Raheem Morris. I felt like he should have got another year, especially when most coaches do. You know what I mean? But like, look at McDaniel. He got 4 years. Granted, his first 2 years in Miami, he did go to the playoffs and he did drop 70 points. I haven't seen Raheem Morris do anything like that. But with his second stint in Atlanta, first as the interim coach, he goes to be a defensive coordinator for the Rams. He comes back for 2 years, mind you. This was his second year.
Yeah.
It came down to him missing the playoffs in a terrible division at that. We looking at the Carolina Panthers go to the playoffs based off of that last one of the season, giving them that opportunity. And then you mix in the fact that the GM did do the Michael Penix trade. You traded a first-round pick. So now you missed the playoffs this year. You don't have a number one pick this year. And with all that talent, we all can say that that's a lot of talent over in Atlanta, whether it's Drake London, whether it's Kyle Pitts, who had a heck of a season. It's always that contract year, boy, isn't it? When those guys really know how to put on. Because I'm telling you, Kyle Pitts, he had a heck of a season this year. And he's going to get paid a little bit. Then, obviously, Bijan Robinson. Then you look on the other side, A.J. Terrell. It's still some pieces on that defense. So that team should have been a playoff team, if you ask me. It wasn't. It's a failed, it's a failed season. Typically, those guys, some of those coaches will get another opportunity. They only gave him 2 years. They didn't want to give him a third year. So I see it both ways, but it is unfortunate. But in that division, man, so terrible division. You got to get it done.
I have a question. What was the ceiling for the Falcons this year? You know what I mean?
I think a playoffs.
So
I think if they would have made it in, then they would have kept this job.
What I'm saying is, would they have won a game if they got there?
I don't think Arthur would have needed them to win per se. I just think getting them there would have done it for him. I think it would have kept them in. I think it would have saved his job. Definitely would have saved his job.
We got a lot of openings, guys. A lot of openings out here. A lot of retread names we've been heard already. With Harbaugh gone to Baltimore, Jonathan Gannon in Arizona, Pete Carroll, he should never was hired in Vegas. They should have kept Antonio Pierce. He was just trying to turn that team around. The owner didn't like a strong black man running his team, acting like he was the owner and general manager. That's what that came down to in Vegas. That's what you get, Vegas. You got rid of a quality coach because your feelings were hurt, and you go get a 73-year-old man that was out on fishing half the time. He lost control of that team so early in the season. I mean, that team was got after the third game. They didn't even Pete Carroll could have left, and the team would have been on instant drive. So that was great. Kevin Stefanski and Cleveland's gone. Raheem Morris, Brian Dable with the Giants, Brian Callahan. We knew that was another mistake. You fired Vrabel because Vrabel told you, I need to hire the quarterback after you go get that mayonnaise dude to be your quarterback, and then you got your feelings hurt, and you turn around and fire him. Man, what kind of, and you ain't sniffed 5 wins since Mike Vrabel left, man. How stupid can some of these owners be, man? It's just ridiculous. Vrabel had to cuss the man out. How you gonna go get a dude doing mayonnaise commercials to be your quarterback? And he running back. He from the Josh Allen school of under pressure, running 20, 30 yards backwards and just throwing the ball underhanding the ball to anybody. I ain't never seen anybody worse than that dude down there in Tennessee, man.
Rad, man.
Good old Will Levis.
It
Will
ends
Levis,
up being a lot of.
on it.
There ends up being a lot of head coaching openings here, like you said, in Vegas and Arizona, Baltimore, Miami. End up also having the Browns, Atlanta, the Giants, Tennessee. But I want to ask when it comes to our
sorry, but it could be more after the weekend.
Oh, I think there could be more as well. It's going to be a rough go with some of those guys.
There's the Undertaker.
But I do want to ask our panel here is when it comes to these head coaching openings, which would you say there is the best head coaching spot, and which would you say is the worst? We'll start over there with you, Fanatic.
Yeah. To me, I think the best. I would think it's Atlanta. You got hot Atlanta. Folks want to come there. J-GILLZ, my brother. Good morning, Real Deal Sports Show family. Good morning, family. I think I'm going with J-GILLZ on that, unless, and I don't know if J-GILLZ was alluding to this, if Buffalo becomes open, hey, that might be a really good spot to go to. And let's shout out. We talk about all these dumpster fires. We talk about these bad organizations. You remember the Houston Texans when they were firing Lovie Smith after a year? They were firing David Culley after a year. Nick Caserio left New England. Bill Belichick drafted N'Keal Harry and a whole bunch of cats who can't play. Nick Caserio leaves, and we all thought it was going to be horrible. D'Amico Ryans, they would fire black coaches after 1 year. And D'Amico, they got it right with D'Amico. And so shout out to D'Amico Ryans and what he did. It seems like to me the Atlanta Falcons job would be the best one, but it could be the Buffalo Bills. I don't want to totally go off of this, but I do want to hear what Radman and what y'all thoughts are if McDermott really might be on the hot seat if they lose, depending on how they lose. Because to me, the one thing about the Harbaugh thing is
absolutely, he better be on
Ravens,
hot something.
But the Ravens, John Harbaugh gets fired because his rookie 44-year-old kicker, it was right down the middle because he misses it, and that's what causes you to lose your job. Like, man, that's a tough pill to swallow. But I'm gonna go answer the question. Internet password. I think it's the Atlanta Falcons job is the best job currently open.
Radman, what do you think is the best head coaching job open right now?
Oh, I like the really Atlanta. To me, I agree. Atlanta is the best one open. Cleveland got a lot of possibilities because they have a really good defense. But if they get another offensive-minded head coach, and keep or move Jim Schwartz into the head coaching position, because Jim Schwartz should have been the Bills head coach instead of going with lovey, sexy Rex Ryan, because the owner loved Rex Ryan like that. That shows you what Pagula didn't know anything about sports and went and hired him instead of keeping the defense that was the number one defense in the league back then for the Bills with Jim Schwartz. But I like Atlanta, Cleveland second.
Ooh, Jim Schwartz, that's a good one. Okay.
J-GILLZ?
Yeah, I mean, you already know I was going at ATL all day. When you look at the pieces that they don't have a first-round draft pick right now, which is of concern. And they also are the only other team in the NFL without a GM. I haven't really tackled into their cap situation. But if I look at Atlanta in that division, for one, that division is just so bad. You know what I mean? You can go in there, and you're playing in the dome. Come on, man. You in good shape. My number two would have to be, and I know this is popular to contrary belief.
Don't say it. Because if you take my team, then I'm gonna be hot. Listen.
I'll say
nobody say it's Baltimore.
Nope. But I like that. I was gonna say anytime you got a chance to get this guy out of Indiana who has just been lights out. I mean, I like they have a lot of cap space.
The Raiders,
like Vegas, and I think number one pick. They got a lot of pieces on offense. They got a lot of work to do. But if I'm a coach right there, I think that's not a bad place to be, especially with a guy like Mendoza.
That dude.
I hear you. I hear you on the Raiders thing. The problem is again, would a coach get the number of years on a contract honored to, you still about 3 years from where you
Definitely.
want to be.
Yep.
Baltimore, you have a two-time MVP as your signal caller, and you still got Derrick Henry on the roster. You still got a Hall of Fame GM upstairs. Like, what am I missing?
Yeah, you know what, Bilal?
Baltimore.
But that window was closing because you still got a quarterback who's going to want his money after the season.
Listen.
That's right.
He's going to want his money.
As he should.
Right.
But we all say all the time, anywhere in sports, what is the most important position in football?
You're right.
Quarterback.
Absolutely. He ain't lying.
Of the jobs available, who has the most stable situation at quarterback? It's
right. That's right. Yeah, because Atlanta, even though I got excited, I was thinking about it's Atlanta, you got lemon pepper wings, you got certain places that people want to frequent day or night.
And nobody goes to for wings.
Yeah, exactly, man. They come for some other stuff and leave with the wings. But hey, you like J-GILLZ said, that dome. You got Bijan. To me, Bijan the best quarterback in the game.
Phenomenal.
Drake London probably in top 15, top 20. Kyle Pitts for some reason can only play when Kirk Cousins is his QB. So they got to work that out. But Bilal, I don't know how I kind of skipped over that because I was just enamored. I love Charlotte. But Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Bucks, New Orleans Saints, with shout out to the Saints. Hey, Louisiana with that. Taylor Shuck, I thought that was a laughable pick. I stand corrected, at least right now. The kid can play a little bit.
And the only thing with Baltimore is this. You know what I mean? You have to, 18 years is a big shadow. You know what I mean? 18 years is a big shadow to try and go in with somebody who has so much success. You go in there, you don't make the playoffs your first season, you on the hot seat. It's simple as that.
But
you don't got no time.
Think about this, right? What do the Baltimore Ravens get the benefit of this year that they haven't had in about the last 5 years? They get a full off-season rest. You're talking about 2 more months, like 2 months to rest your body. You're gonna have a different level of motive. Lamar Jackson is what is he's not even 30. I think he's just around 30 years old. You're talking about a brother who is about to be motivated, and then if I think if they take a page out of what Chicago did and bring in an offensive minded head coach to come in to pair with Lamar Jackson, an offensive minded head coach with a motivated MVP level quarterback, man, it could be real ugly for the AFC North next season because Baltimore is going to be playing with a different level of motivation.
Absolutely. Before we get into that, we got to talk about our award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, and Life Insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue, 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Call 585-360-0094. Bundle that car and auto insurance. Bundle that plan together. Miriam and her staff, hey, she's still looking for employees, so she need a couple more people to work in her 3 offices that she now has. Give her a call about a job. If you're looking for a job, 585-360-0094. Award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. And J-GILLZ, of course, you know the top one for the Advantage Federal. What's the one about Advantage Federal Credit Union you got coming up?
Auto loans, Visa cards, and student checking accounts. AdvantageFCU.org. All those students, they still matching. I believe they're still matching on those student checking accounts. Save up. We got Prime right around the corner. I can't believe that we already 5 months into the school year, and the class of 2026 is almost graduated. We got Prime. We got college. Open up those student checking accounts at AdvantageFCU.org.
Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. And you know good and well, for good food in town, the best buffet in town, Thali of India. The lunch buffet served 11:30 to 2 p.m. and dinner 4:40 to 8:30 p.m. 3259 South Winton Road in the Wynn Jeff Plaza. Stop in. They got the vegan buffet side. They got the American buffet. And, man, they had some wings on there the other day, man. They were popping, man. Those wings they had and the catfish tips, all of that. Oh, man, and the meatballs and all that. Oh, hey, man. If you throw down, if you want to throw down, J-GILLZ, you been out there yet?
Nah, roll past. Nah, you know what?
You got to stop up in there, J-GILLZ. It'll change your life.
My bad.
That's right. Vegan or American, go check them out. The best voted the best buffet in all of Monroe County, Delhi of India, 3259 South Winton Road in the Wynn Jeff Plaza. Check them out. Yes, indeed.
I want to throw this out there. Shout out to James Payne in the comments. He said,
"Yep,
if Buffalo loses
I
Sunday."
like it. That's the question.
And so here's what makes that question super intriguing and interesting to me. Because in no other year would that question be as spicy. You got no Baltimore and John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens this year. You got no Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes over in KC to worry about. If Buffalo does not get it done this year, or at least make a real deep push, that seat could get real hot real fast in Buffalo. And
so
absolutely. I know some Buffalo fans who already want them gone.
Yeah. Well, hey, Bilal, let me go right to you directly then, and I'd love to get the thoughts from starting with Radman after that, and then J-GILLZ. If the Bills lose 27-25, and they have a chance with whoever the kicker going to be, after the Bills have had kicker issues all year, so I say that specifically. Let's say that they have a chance to win the game. Again, they lose 25-27, same way Baltimore lost with a missed kick. Does that get McDermott fired?
You saw what happened to Harbaugh. Bro, I think a loss, and even that, you know what I mean? To me, the loss either way would it could end up costing McDermott his job. I think it would. I don't know if it would be. And again, I think in a year where if you didn't have a Harbaugh potentially available, you know what I mean? Maybe not. But again, the stars aligning this way, where you got no Baltimore in the playoffs, you got no KC in the playoffs, and then a Harbaugh is kind of sitting and looming in the background. If this doesn't work out, listen, he ain't gonna tell nobody, but he's sweating.
He done aged in the last 2 months. He done aged a lot, man. In the press conference after the Jets game, he looked old. I said, "Damn, McDermott, ooh man, he ain't getting much."
Y'all putting the pressure
on. He
but
looked rough in that
Harbaugh
press.
and McDermott. The one thing I have to say is McDermott. He is definitely there, looking old. And one thing that I think is interesting with the connection is that it says that here report that the Baltimore Ravens have requested Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady to interview for the head coaching position over there. And the one thing I have to say when it comes to John Harbaugh, guys, this man is old. Trying to lead some young men into battle each and every week after 18 seasons. He did enough. Remember we said the theme for today's show is people getting hired and fired. Hey, man, he may got let go, but he's still collecting them checks, and he's going to be fine. While Sean McDermott, he's worried if he's going to hear some of this.
He's worried a lot. And if they lose drastically or if they lose, period, it's time. And how many years you going to give a guy with a quarterback? Josh Allen doesn't have that much time left in the National Football League. He's not, you need somebody. He done had 8 years with the guy. Come on, man, McDermott, or 7 years with him. And the best he can do is and he's not even, and him and Bean have not put together quality drafts. I mean, the Deion Dawkins, the first draft was done by Doug Whaley when he brought in Deion Dawkins, and the other two staples of that roster came in that first draft done by Doug Whaley. If you go with what they've done after Doug Whaley, they left. Bean has a lot to be desired, Absolutely. And that's why the Bills right now have a lot of old guys retreads, because the young guys he drafted have not even Ed Oliver. Everybody said we can't Ed Oliver come back. He's undersized. He's playing a defensive tackle. He's really undersized for playing that position. He does a great job with what he does. He's an excellent football player. But come on, Greg Rousseau, would you re-sign Greg Rousseau? Come on, man. He wouldn't have got no second. Terrell Bernard, I would have gave him a second contract. Are you out your mind? You don't lost your mind, man. Somebody, and you look at the Bills roster, you're like, wow, man, they really, man, how the heck, what are they doing over there, man? They just not putting quality players together because they should have got rid of some guys and brought in some guys. That's what I love about Belichick. He got rid of Richard Seymour after they won that first Super Bowl. Richard Seymour was still in his prime. He packed, yeah, you got to go, man. He brought in some other Butch Wolfolk and all. He brought all other guys, young cats in. Lloyd Malloy.
Wait,
all these young cats, man. With the Bills,
Redman, you like Bill Belichick?
That's suspicious.
I don't know,
I
Redman.
wouldn't be mad at that.
Hey,
But I think it is
hey,
important to note, though. I think it is important to note, and I'm happy you brought up Brandon Beane, because if Sean McDermott does go, it's going to be a complete culture overhaul. It's going to be a complete overhaul, because understand that Brandon Beane came with McDermott from Carolina. So everything top to bottom, they all run together. So when one go, everybody going to go. So you're going to have to get somebody who can go in there and establish a complete new culture, starting with the GM, starting with the coaches, getting your coordinators, and making sure that you are good to go. So I think it's important to note that if McDermott does go, Beane is definitely on the way.
Well,
Exactly.
you know,
I think
that's one
a good
level of
point,
football.
J-GILLZ.
Yeah.
Well, that's one level of football that's happening, but we also had some things that epic clashes of football games, some classic games when it comes to the college football playoffs, and it was some very eventful games that we saw there as well. And one of Radman's favorite players was on display. Former players were on display as well.
Together a little. Didn't we tell y'all not to mess with us? Didn't we tell y'all not to mess with us? Yeah, we are going to the championship game. Let's go, you!
Can't wait to see him on Radio Row. He'll be on Radio Row with the belt. I want to sign my autograph to that belt, man.
Listen,
wanna know you guys'
that belt swing both ways. That belt swing both ways. I hope he was watching last night because if you talking BTA, listen, Indiana come. They ain't playing no games. They are not coming to play with the Hurricanes.
Man, you talking about Bill Belichick? That Kurt Cinetti, he looked like Bill Belichick reincarnated. Kurt Cinetti, he don't smile.
Nah,
30, he's still
like,
but at least he got personality though.
Yeah, hey, Bill Belichick had a little personality. Don't forget about Rex Ryan and a little feet gate. Hey, you know, Bill Belichick, he had his little subtle shots. But yeah, and even when I hear that Mendoza, I feel like he's trying a little too hard, but I've heard now enough of him. I think that's just who he is. He's not like Tom Brady. He over there. It's about the team, a great organization.
Well, he about to be with Tom Brady.
And it's hey, that Mendoza kid. Hey, Tom, I'll make the pick for you. The Raiders are off the clock. They selected Mendoza, and I like Dante Moore. Dante Moore to me is better, but or has more upside. But the Raiders, they always Al Davis, Darius Hayward-Bay, Deontay Thornton. He wants some high upside guys. Just pick the best player. Mendoza is pinpoint accurate. He loves football. He always says the right thing. I think he'll be a good leader of an organization. Raiders should take Fanatic. Mendoza.
While we got you real quick, I do want to know you were so close to that 2019 LSU team.
Yeah.
What's your thought? I'm feeling Joe Burrow when I'm seeing this dude play. Obviously not the same team because that star power was crazy over there. Indiana ain't got nobody on that roster.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on him? And do you think he's on that Joe cool level of quarterback right now?
Yeah, well, to me, I think we get so much enamored in NFL football. It's all about arm strength. And hey, I can throw it 70 yards on the run man. Just throw the pinpoint accurate ball. And my man Mendoza in college football players, he ain't playing. He's not playing James Madison where Kurt Cinetti came from. He not playing Tulane. He playing Ohio State, Alabama, and then just dismantle Oregon. And Oregon is not the soft team. I think that this Indiana team, again, if you like line play, Mendoza good. The running backs are really good. Watch this offensive line. I'm telling you, my right guard, 60, the center and the right guard. Hey, them two boys, New England, whoever need an offensive lineman, draft the center and the right guard. These boys pushing people back and making them go just lay down against their will. This Indiana team, that would have given LSU a run for their money because LSU is not as physical as this team. This team what Kurt Cinetti has done. Shoot, somebody might need to give him a call because to go from JMU to change Indiana to be the most physical team, them boys put a lot of BTA. They out there, they all looking like Michael Irvin with whoever they play. And again, they play some real teams. Man, I still think LSU would have won in the shootout. What I really would have liked, I would have wanted to see Coach O and Kurt Cinetti after the game, see who would win in a loser-leave town matchup in a steel cage match. That would have really been something because Coach O was on one back in the day, man. He was eating everything. That dude, he was a wild boy. Bring Coach O back. Somebody hire Coach O.
There you go. There you have it. I think you're right. Oregon looked like a Pac-12 team. Come on, you can't sell me on them being in the Big Ten. I kept hearing. I thought he was making a mistake. I said they're not in the Pac-10. They're in the Pac-12 or Pac-10. They're a West Coast team. They not know. They need to get the hell out of the Pac-10.
No. You said it. Did you see what Indiana did to Alabama?
Yeah.
No.
You're
it's
right.
Not. It's not. I know what you're saying in general. That's not on Oregon. It's these boys from Indiana for real. I love that they don't have. They guess how many 5 stars they have.
You just took. I love it.
You know, with Listen, you, baby. You know,
not one 5-star team. And again, I want to come back to something we were talking about earlier when it's about the GM. That's why the culture of a team matters so much. It's not you can have not one 5-star, not one 5-star in that team. When you get guys and you can build a culture and an environment and a team, you don't have like. It's great to have the dynasty of the last two decades, the two biggest dynasties, the Chiefs and the Patriots. Those dynasties were not built on
the best players. Yep.
You find the right guys, you find the right culture, you find the right coach, quarterback, GM, and that's how you build dynasty. So yeah, you know what I mean. I'm gonna go out on that, and I know my boy James in the comments, man. Until you said you was
Chucky. Yeah, I was going to say. I was like, we can't just let that one go. Yeah, John Gruden.
Yeah,
No,
he was horrible. He was horrible when he came back with the Raiders that last go round.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know who said that. I saw that too. And was that guy down in the Beltway? I don't know if that was Morris Thompson on the Beltway, but somebody said John Gruden. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was James Payne.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who
we appreciate you commenting, though. We appreciate you commenting.
We appreciate it. And Kimmy does it best with custom website design and ongoing maintenance. Kimmy can help your business grow online. Visit KimmyDoesItBest.com. Contact KimmyDoesItBest.com or support at KimmyDoesItBest.com. So great, excellent show, everybody. Go to RealDealSportsShow.com. Check out the website. Check out the picks for tomorrow's game, today and tomorrow. A lot of football action, guys. Want to thank everybody for being on Real Deal Sports Show. In closing comments, Fanatic.
I can't wait to have a full-on discussion with my brother Bilal and everybody here about the transfer window. I did some good old research this weekend, so know that they've even eliminated one of the April portal time frames. So again, this whole calendar, I look at it, is straight garbage. I think I got an answer. Hey, I don't blame Lane Kiffin for doing what he did, but I ain't gonna get my man Bilal riled up. I'm gonna wait. We'll have a conversation. But hey, them boys from Indiana. Again, I like Dante Moore. Get that man Mendoza his number 1 overall jersey. Keep that thing moving, Raiders. At least you may have something. But they got a horrible offensive line. He gonna be running for his life. Enjoy the football weekend, fellas.
Exactly.
J-GILLZ, my bad, Pastor J-GILLZ. What's your closing shot?
I know it's all good, man. You already know. It's about that time. About that time.
Bilal, what you got? Closing.
Listen, I just want to say great show, gentlemen. I didn't know Lamar Jackson was a January baby like myself. So hey, listen, I can't wait till next. As excited as I am for this postseason, I'm so excited for Lamar Jackson to be able to have a full offseason to rest his body. I think Baltimore next year, and if you haven't heard, Bisciotti invested a lot of money in upgrading their stadium this offseason. So they've added some luxury boxes and things like that. So I think they are primed for the right situation, the right coach. Cliff Kingsbury, I think, is also going to be interviewing.
Yeah, not good. He not he an OC.
Yeah, I agree. But again, I'm just saying the right offensive mind. You don't need a great HC when you got the kind of talent that they have as a roster. You just need the right person to not come in and fumble the bag. So I would like to see somebody, some other candidates. But again, I do think they're at least thinking in the right mindset of finding somebody with an offensive brain to pair with their franchise quarterback.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Also, my last thing is this. Actually, if Tomlin don't win a playoff game, he might be on the hot seat.
Could be. That's enough. So some of these people
in a minute.
Some of these coaches they're waiting to see some of these games, to see the outcome of some of these games this weekend.
And watch the 49ers. Watch the 49ers give Philly up. I think the Philly's gonna get more than what they bargained for.
Sunday. I think all those games are gonna be great on Sunday, man. Robert Saleh, I hope he get his job. But the one thing I did want to last to bring up, and I'll pass it to Radman that really closes out, is the Commanders. How did they? That's my boy JD5. So of course I'm following Jaden Daniels. Right. They went overhead, and some of these. It's like sometimes these hires I just don't all the way get. The Commanders promoted their quarterbacks coach, David Blah, who was a former Detroit Lions quarterback, to be the OC. I didn't get that. And then I really want to get Radman your take on, as again, I know you got your closing part, but I want to get your thought. John Harbaugh didn't fire his coaching staff where it looked like they wanted to, because Todd Monkey, he needed to go. But Todd Bowles, he was like, hey, I got to save my job. Hey, Charlie Strong, come in here, yo. Come in here, brother. You got to go. My man Thad Lewis, ex-Bills quarterback. Thad, come in. You got to go. I got to save my job. How do you feel about that, and how is that respected among the league to get to save your job or not?
Exactly. And keep in mind, John Harbaugh is a special teams coach. He's not an OC or a DC. Never was. He was just a special teams guy. So he's a rarity in the field. That's why I'm surprised that everybody wants him, because I'm like, well, he's more of an organizer. He's not. He doesn't call plays. He doesn't call defensive schemes. So it's interesting to see. And he's making the same demand that McDermott had. He wants to have total control. Want to run everything and bring in his own scouts in the whole 9 yards. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see where he lands at, or if he's waiting on McDermott to fall and come and drive right to fly into Buffalo Monday morning after the game tomorrow or something to see what he. Well, because I'm just wondering, he's making the same demand as McDermott. I thought that was kind of odd for a guy that's a special teams coach. Yeah, you've been there 18 years, but Ozzie Newsome didn't put those teams together, man. You didn't have very little to do with putting those squads together, man. But you were able to keep them organized. He was like Marv Levy, really, more of a Marv Levy type cat, a motivator.
But that's what I think Bilal's talking about, though. Because I think you head coach, you can have a leader of men. Because Mike Vrabel, he's more of a defensive guy, but Mike Vrabel is a leader of men. They respect him, and then he let Josh McDaniels run. That's why I think New England got a perfect setup. Nobody's going to want Josh McDaniels as a head coach anymore. He's done getting no chances. So his best job, be home with your family. New England's been home. So to me, I think, Bilal, is that what you're really saying? Like, you can have a coach like that?
Exactly. And be great at what you're great at. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with going down as perhaps arguably one of the greatest offensive coordinators the game has ever seen. Not everyone's gonna make that natural ascension to translate to being a great head coach. So I do think that's what Harbaugh brings. He's a great leader of men. He's got coaching pedigree from his father. So I think he understands what it takes or what it requires to be a head coach. And it's not necessarily that you're the be all end all, but you know how to get people and put people in the right places and let them do their job.
But John Harbaugh is 63 years old.
Not that old.
How long are we going to keep doing this? Yes, he's an excellent leader. In comparison, Mike Tomlin is 53. That's a big difference for you coming out there leading these men. I agree. Unless it's Carroll, but Sean McDermott around that similar age as Mike Tomlin, that ends up being a big difference. If I'm John Harbaugh, hey, I'll be a consultant. Let me go out fishing, or let me go out there and maybe get a TV gig. He done enough after 18 seasons, y'all. And sometimes, you've been consistently good, a part of an organization that's known to be good there as well. So if it's time for you to go, hey, it's just about that time. They're just going in a slightly different direction. And I trust whoever they're going to hire there next.
Let me ask you something, though. If somebody was willing to pay you $20 million, and you know that's not what you're getting if you go to CBS or any one of these other stations, you know what I mean? You ain't saying I'm gonna go off into the sunset. No, you're gonna maximize the window of this opportunity, whatever it might result in. Again, remains to be seen. But if you're wanted somewhere and they're willing to respond to those kind of requests for pay and control, then hey, you take the opportunity, and I do think he still got it. I do think he still got it.
That's why hey, you getting hired or you getting fired. Either way, people getting paid, man. The money's coming. Hey, you want me, even I don't really want to do it, or I'm 63 and I'm old, and you want to pay me $20 million? Oh yeah, sure, I'll rock on up, do things for 1 season or 2 with my guaranteed money. All right, and then I'll get fired after that. Hey, I hope Miami signs him, man, just so we can see that burnout after 1 season, and then I can go ahead and watch J-GILLZ do some of this. This is my dramatization of J-GILLZ if they hire John Harbaugh.
Because I know somewhere deep down in my heart, I still love you.
Did you have to leave it at that?
Did you see the one? Did you see the one with the young man? He was the Jets fan. They interviewed the Jets fan after a loss, and he said, "I hate this team. I was born into it, and I'll always be a Jets fan, but I hate this team."
Yeah.
I saw that.
Like that sometimes.
And Morris Thompson,
thank
you. Morris Thompson, thank you so much for all your comments. Top Gun 9, 9mm shooter. Top Gun, thank you so much, aka Morris Thompson, for all those comments on the belt from the Beltway. And we'll be back next week. And we're getting ready for Super Bowl 60. We'll be down there in the Bay Area at the Moscone Center, broadcasting live February 1st through the 6th, and also live coverage of the game. Internet Passport, J-GILLZ. We'll all be out there covering Super Bowl week, as well as doing Real Deal Sports Show not only on radio but on TV all week long on the TV show. So we have more coming up and more information on that as we get closer to Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco, California. Broadcasting live from the Moscone Convention Center. Take care, everybody, and please remember to be a good sport.
Hey, check out Winner's Edge. Get you some money, baby.
That's right, Winner's Edge. That's right. RealDealSportsShow.com. RealDealSportsShow.com. Check out the Winner's Edge. Make yourself a hell of a lot of money with our picks for this week's games. And thank you all 419, 500 people that